Welcome, everybody. Good afternoon, and welcome to the Canadian Ringette Championships. We're moving into the playoff round today. So this game here at the Myers Arena of the Bell Sensplex will be Edmonton WAM versus Calgary RATH. Edmonton finished fourth in the A pool, and Calgary was fifth. So this is a quarterfinal game. The winner will advance to semifinals, and the loser will get to spectate. So, I'm working with Dion Rock today.
Hello, welcome to the broadcast. Thanks for tuning in. I'd like to say hello to all the people that couldn't be here in the Canadian National Ringette Championships 2026 here in Ottawa. Ottawa has been an amazing host for all these teams, really pulling out all the stops and being just really nice to everybody and all the teams and players.
And you know what? In fact, Dion, I was speaking with one of the Sensplex staff late yesterday afternoon. He said he would have Ringette here any day of the week. He was really happy with how respectful everybody was, the players, the parents. They leave the dressing rooms in decent condition. He said they love having us.
Yeah,
so,
and I've gone through the ranks of Ringette as well as hockey. I have a son who plays hockey, and the community around the Ringette League is really amazing. Not to say that hockey is less, but it's just the Ringette community really bands together, and there's a lot of really nice camaraderie between the players, parents, and volunteers all around.
Yeah. So Edmonton is our home team today. They're wearing their blues. Calgary wearing whites as the visitors. The visiting team will have the free pass to open play and to start the third quarter. Home team has the second and the fourth quarter. So we're looking for an incredibly exciting game here today. These two did not play each other during the round robin, but of course played during the season. They had 4 games. Edmonton was the winner in all 4 of those games, but 2 of them were shootout, and the other 2 games were a 2-goal spread for the win. So
it's a tight battle between these teams in Alberta. There's now 4 teams, a new team, Rocky Mountain Rage, that came on this year. So now there's 4 teams, NRL teams in Alberta. And it's always a big matchup when any of the teams play each other, but especially WAM and Calgary RATH. They have a long and storied history.
Colorful history?
Yeah, very.
Actually, yes, I lived in Alberta for a number of years, so got to see these teams. In fact, so our team staffs on these teams. For Calgary RATH, Christian Vardy is the head coach. Christian was also a player for the Calgary RATH before she moved to Ontario. And then she's assisted by Barb Batista, Chelsea Asapenko, and Chandra Bruval. Barb Batista was a team staff with Senior Team Canada and Finland most recently. Chandra has played for Team Canada and played for Calgary RATH. And their team manager is Paul Geddes, who was the head coach of Calgary RATH at one time.
Yeah. So it looks like we have Gruel starting in net for the Edmonton WAM and Maddie Nystrom starting in net for the Calgary RATH.
Okay.
And RATH starts with the ring. That's Erin Ung. She's going to drop it to Rock. Rock's going to cycle back in the neutral zone and send it across to Hazel. Hazel bounces it off the boards, picked up by Anderson deep. Anderson's going to circle, get it over to Ung. Ung fakes the shot, takes the shot, just hits the far post. Rebound picked up by Anderson, so a reset for the RATH in the offensive zone. And Anderson gets the ring away just in time. Hemstreet with it now. Checked by Mitsuka. Dropping the ring for Anderson, and Anderson's going to cycle behind the net. Anderson with a quick drop. RATH making a line change. Gillespie fresh legs on with Wheeler in front of the net. And Burse on the far side. Burse is going to fake the shot and take it. Gruel with a nice save. Rebound comes out. Picked up by Burse, and the RATH get another reset. So Wheeler with it now. She's going to cycle around. Drager at the top of the circle trying to prevent any attack, and bounce off the boards, gets into the crease. Gruel is going to send it out the right side to Mitsuka. And Mitsuka trying to hit Shanann. Shanann looked the other way, and now Wheeler jumps on that, and a bit of a tussle there. WAM comes away with it, with Henderson now with the ring. Henderson up to the neutral zone for Mitsuka. Mitsuka has to do a move to get by her defender, and now Henderson with it in the offensive zone. Henderson's going to take the shot. Nystrom with a save. Rebound grab by Tessa Brown of the RATH. And Tessa Brown's up to the blue line. Checked there by Henderson and is able to get it up to Sauvé at center ice. Sauvé, a back pass to Tessa Brown. Tessa can't touch it. She picked it up on the neutral side. And now the WAM are with it in their own defensive zone. Henderson. Over to Henderson, I believe. There are 2 Hendersons.
2 Hendersons on Edmonton and 2 Ungs on Calgary.
That's right. Tajbash still in the neutral zone. WAM can't get into the offense. So now they almost get it through and picked off by the RATH. That's Brewster with it. Brewster up to Sauvé. Sauvé's going to wait for reinforcements to get across into the offensive zone. Sauvé cycles back around center looking for Brewster, but that's a little bit out of her reach. Ryan York's going to pick it up behind the WAM net and go for a spin. Ryan York to the blue line. Ryan York still looking for an opening outlet. Tries to get it to Arlinghouse, but she is checked by Marlborough.
Yep, so Ryan York picks it up again.
Yeah, Ryan York able to touch it because I believe Arlinghouse did get a stick on it even though it didn't get possession. So that's deep for Sydney Fevin.
Looking for the shot clock, and there it goes. It's expired. You can hear the goalkeeper banging her stick. She's letting her team know that they're running out of time on that shot clock.
So that's Murray now with it, taking the goalie toss up to Marlborough for the RATH. Marlborough circling around, looking for an opening in the offensive zone. WAM with some good coverage and good jump there by number 19. That is Erica Lee. Couldn't quite grab the ring. Hemstreet with a big shot. Gruel getting a save. Rebound comes all the way out past the Ringette line, and Hazel's going to grab it, but they're going to call a penalty.
Yep.
So a little bit too emphatic of a check there by Hazel on Ketsa. And the WAM are going to have the first power play of the game at 9:31 in the first quarter.
And that's a body contact penalty. As you said, just a little too much emphasis on that check. Yeah, let's make sure we get the proper player in the box. It's going to be number 10, Ung, not 14.
Oh, okay. Aaron Ung gets the penalty for the RATH.
Yeah, so good teamwork by the officials, making sure they're getting the right player in the box.
All right, so Vale Ketsa now with the ring for the WAM. Going to try to take advantage of this power play. Big shot. Nystrom got a piece of it. I think it landed on top of the net. And
it did. Yep. So that's out of play, stoppage, and it goes back to WAM because it went off of the goalie, Nystrom, the Calgary goalie.
So if it were to bounce off the glass without contact on the defending team, would it change possession?
It would be a goalkeeper ring.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, because in that case, Calgary had nothing to do with it going out of play.
Yeah, it doesn't happen too often. So
No.
the ring is bouncy enough, it usually bounces off.
Yeah.
That's Drager with it now. Drager's trying to break into the triangle. Drager takes the shot, blocked by Hazel. Picked up in the corner by the WAM. WAM get it through into the crease. A weak shot. It doesn't get to Nystrom. Nystrom's just going to pick it up and toss it out to Wheeler. Now Wheeler's going to throw it for Meyer. Meyer can't get there in time, and it's a two-line pass, so free ring for WAM in the defensive zone. Debahi out to Drager at center ice. Nice pass. Breakaway chance for Krochak. She takes the shot. What a save by Nystrom. And now along RATH just trying to clear the danger, get it out of the zone, but WAM sends it right back in. Now Drager on the attack. Drager with a shot. Nystrom, good pad save, no rebound. Nystrom, bit of a miscommunication there with the defender. Ketsa able to pick up the ring, and the WAM is on the attack again. That's number 18, Masuka jumping up into the play. Drop to Shanann. Shanann with a big shot. Nystrom with another save, no rebound. Nystrom with a high toss, but they called it 5 seconds.
Yeah, that 5 seconds is from it when it comes into the crease, not from when the goalie picks it up. So sometimes it gets caught up in their gear and it just takes them a little too long to pick it out. Shannon, not Shanann.
Oh. So Shannon with the ring gets it back to Henderson. Apologize for mispronouncing some names.
The only reason I know is because she was on the senior national team. So that's what the senior national team staff told me.
Right. So Rock fighting her way out, gets it out to the neutral zone and draws a penalty on WAM. So RATH, if they can get possession here, have a bit of time, and Henderson is able to turn the ring over. But they're going
to be a hooking penalty to WAM. Just really not playing the ring there, just playing the stick and making the block. It looks like it's going to be number 10, Henderson. One of the Hendersons for WAM.
Lauren Henderson is number 10.
Yeah. So Calgary back at full strength. So they'll try and take advantage of their opportunity here.
7:30 left in the first quarter. Wheeler's going to send it back to Brewster. Brewster's going to go for a skate around the net. Brewster to Sauvé. Sauvé with a quick one-timer, and Gruel able to get there. Rebound picked up by the WRATH. So a fresh clock on Sauvé with a shot. Deflected wide. Now that's Henderson picking it up, but Ung checking at the blue line is able to turn it over for the WRATH.
Yeah, good step up by Ung there to intercept that pass.
Meyer with the ring now, waiting for WRATH to change. WAM stuck in their zone with the long bench. Tried to pass it across, and a good skate there by Ferry to intercept the pass, and then Gruel sends it out to Shannon. So now Ferry with it. Ferry up to Drager at center ice. Drager trying a long lead pass, gets cut off by Meyer. Now Meyer banks it off the boards to Anderson. Anderson and Henderson in a battle into the corner. And back to Meyer. Meyer spinorama move, takes the shot. Gruel makes the save. There's a rebound, and it deflects off a defender and into the net.
So Calgary WRATH draw first blood here on their power play. Just a twist around by the shooter, that's Meyer?
Meyer, yeah.
Yeah, so Meyer took the shot, got the rebound, and then spun to her backhand, and I believe it bounced off of a skate. Gruel didn't really have any chance on that play.
Yeah.
I just want to... Greywall. Yeah. So the goaltender, Greywall, just no chance on that one. So Edmonton now with the ring off of center ice, and go Dion.
All right, so Drager with the ring now, trying the centering pass, didn't quite connect. And, they're going to get a penalty. WRATH, that's Armstrong with a technical. She's going to get 4 minutes. So that's, I think from behind is when that turns into a technical.
Yeah, major foul is usually, major foul, the referees have really zero discretion. As long as the initial contact is from behind or to the head, it will be a 4-minute major penalty. So, but in this case...
I thought he signaled a T.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
They're correcting it.
Yeah.
So they initially put it up as a 2 minutes, and then the ref came and corrected.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not uncommon for the timekeepers, who are some of our incredible volunteers here. When they see a penalty, they put 2 up right away, and especially if they haven't heard the major part to it.
So shot there.
Oh, wow.
Just missed Tajbash. And did that hit the net, or? It must have gone off the goalie and into the net, I think.
Yes. Yeah. So Edmonton's ring again.
So Tajbash with the ring is going to start with it for the WAM. Gets it over to Dabaji.
Dabaji.
Oh, with a J. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Dabaji. And that's Drager with it now. Drager. Back to Tajback. And they're running out of time here. 8 seconds on the shot clock as Drager picks it up.
They got the reset. They got it off the goalie's stick.
All right, so Drager's going to set up and cycle, try to break through the triangle. Gets there, takes the backhand, no goal.
In the crease.
It looks like it went in the net.
It did go in the net, but she was in the crease.
Yeah, so the ref immediately waved that off. So Nystrom's going to send it out to Rock. Rock throws it up the boards to Hazel. And Hazel finds a wide open Anderson. Oh, Burrs scores shorthanded.
Makes no mistake on that opportunity. What a great read by Calgary to get that ring up to center ice. The player who got the assist was
Hazel.
So
Yeah.
she saw Burst breaking up the lane, the center lane there, and got that ring, threaded it between those two Edmonton defenders, and Burst makes no mistake.
So I think they kind of caught WAM on surprise there. Usually you wouldn't attack so aggressively being shorthanded,
but this is a game where it's a winner take all. The winner moves on and the loser does not.
Well, the loser will go to the consolation side, so that was new last year in the NRL.
Oh, okay.
The quarterfinal losers all get to continue playing on the consolation final side.
Okay.
Yeah. So a bit of a scrum now. WAM on the attack. That's Arlinghouse with the ring. She's going to cycle. Arlinghouse looking for an opening. RATH triangle pushing out, and a bouncing ring into the slot area is batted away out of the ringette line, and the RATH just shovel it out to center ice. That was Gillespie. And Mitsuka sends it right back in onto the stick of Ung, and Brown find Gillespie in the neutral zone, but Gillespie breaks through two checks. Now Gillespie up for Ung. It's Rachel Ung. Dropping it for Wheeler, and I think the RATH are going to try to kill a bit of time here. 2 minutes gone in the major penalty to Armstrong. Meyer takes the shot, gets a reset, and the rebound into the corner. So Meyer's going to drop it over to Murray. Murray's going to back to Sauvé. Sauvé circling behind the WAM net. Out in front, Meyer just missed the stab, and the ring comes all the way out past the ringette line. Big check there by Shannon, and Meyer able to get it behind the net for Sauvé. Sauvé is going to fake the drop pass. Now gets it over to Rock. Rock back to Hemstreet. Hemstreet with a big shot. The block was there. She was running out of time on the shot clock, so had to get something off, but didn't get it to the net. So now Greywall puts it over to Mitsuka. Mitsuka, a long lead pass center ice. Grabbed there easily by Tajbak. And now Mitsuka over to Shannon. And they're going to call 4 in, I think, on the WAM. It's going to be a goalie ring, so
No, so it's not a 4 in then. I'm not sure what that call was, but if it was 4 in by WAM, the ring would come out to center ice.
Oh, okay.
So that was likely a...
and that's a carryover on Brewster. Carried it over the blue line, so it's going to be WAM in the...
One of the very original rules of Ringette is you have to pass it over the blue line, preferably to a teammate, but the other team won't...
won't take a free gift.
No, they'll take a free gift. But
no.
It has to be passed over, so just a little too tight to the line there.
So 1 minute left on the penalty to Armstrong. Drager putting it into the corner there for Ketsa, I believe. Triangle, and then a bouncing ring gets kicked out back to Ketsa. No reset there, so 10 seconds on the shot clock for the WAM. Ketsa, drop pass to Drager. Drager making a move on the backhand, and a big check by... Oh, and Ketsa's injured there.
Yeah, we've got I believe it's a cross-check penalty coming to the RATH here.
And that's Wheeler.
Yeah.
So this is a real disadvantage for the RATH because they're going to go 2 players in the box for 34 seconds.
Yeah, so that means they're only allowed 2 skaters inside that ringette line in their own end. They could put all 3 in the attacking end, in the WAM end, but only 2 in their own, and that's for 34 seconds. WAM is going to certainly want to take advantage of this opportunity.
Yeah, so a bit of a mistake there by the RATH, putting 2 players in the box. But Murray and Ung are out for the RATH. Drager at the top of the circle. Drager takes the shot, doesn't get through. Bouncing ring. I'm not sure who that is. Back to Drager at the top. Drager looking for an opening, side of the net, takes the shot, and I think Nystrom got a piece of that. Collected by Tajbak. And a big shot from Drager. Nystrom makes a save, 5 seconds on the clock, and Nystrom throws it into the corner. So now the penalty has expired to Armstrong, but WAM are able to capitalize. Good, nice shot there by, I think it was Tajbak?
I think it was Tajbak.
Sorry, I was a little behind the play. I couldn't keep up with everything happening, but the WAM able to capitalize on that 3-on-2.
Yeah, that was number 9. That should be Tajbak.
Yeah.
So just some great teamwork down there by Edmonton. As my colleague said here, the first penalty to the major penalty had just expired.
So that gets Wheeler out of the box. So now we're back to even strength. There was a power play goal. So a long
And actually, if that goal had been scored before Armstrong's penalty expired, it would still be Wheeler coming out.
Oh, that's true, yeah, because she was the major. That's right.
Yeah, Armstrong was the major, so Wheeler would still be released from the sin bin. But anyway, as you say, all at full strength again.
Yeah, Meyer's going to take a shot. It bounces off of Graywall, the ref says, and calls for a reset.
Just went off of her stick there.
Anderson over to Ung. Ung's going to get it back to Anderson. Anderson with a quick one-timer. Graywall saw it all the way, made the save and into the corner, and now a pretty aggressive check by the RATH, and they're able to turn it over. Now Ung with the ring.
Yeah, that was some great double teaming by Calgary RATH to get that ring out of the corner.
Ung with a drop pass over to Hemstreet. Hemstreet looking for an opening, gets it to Burst, but good stick check there by, didn't see who did that from the WAM, but able to turn the RATH back. They did call a reset on that though.
Yeah, it did go. It was there was some momentary control by WAM when it came out of the line there.
So now Debaji with the ring is going to put it across to
Mitsuka.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mitsuka tries to hit Shannon, but just tipped by the RATH. And now Gillespie's going to get tripped up, and they're going to call that a penalty. Kind of forced to. It wasn't intentional, but.
Well, intentional would be 4 minutes.
Oh, okay.
I love when players come, as a referee, the players come to me and said, "You know, I didn't mean it." Yep, I know.
That's
and
still a
why,
penalty.
And that's why it's only 2 minutes and not 4.
Yeah.
Because the other factor to major penalties is if it's considered aggressive or intentional, not intent to injure, but just intentional, like not playing, intending to play the body, not the ring, that can be a major as well.
So the RATH only have, oh no, there's a fifth player over here hiding. So it's a power play. Sauvé is going to start with it, kick it back to Ung. Ung to Sauvé. Sauvé fakes the shot. Good pushing out by Ryan York at the top of the triangle. Now over to Ung. Ung behind the back for Sauvé. Sauvé over. Oh, what a chance for Brewster. She just missed the net. It was wide open.
Yeah, Masutka got the stick on that just as Brewster was releasing the ring, and now that is the end of the first quarter.
Wow, that was quick.
That was.
Can't believe 13 minutes have gone by so quick.
So in that first quarter, we finish up with it being 2-1 for the Calgary RATH. But at this point, let's before we forget, because we get so caught up in the game, let's thank our sponsors.
Yeah, for sure.
Our sponsors for Ringette Canada are the Government of Canada, Gatorade, Athena Ringette, and Ringette. Our event sponsors specifically for these Canadian Championships are Ottawa Tourism, the Government of Ontario, RBC Wealth Management, Booster Juice, McNally Gervan LLP, Athena, Gatorade, Serganor, Hertz, Dom Sports, Ringjet, NAMI, Annabelle, ISI Live, and our wonderful camera person here, Shia. Thank you very much. Auger Hollingsworth Personal Injury Lawyers, David Hollingsworth Professional Corporation, and Melika Consulting. So it really would, it's really great to see these, the financial support from these folks who, as I do, believe that our athletes are really worth their efforts. It's, you know, we've got some incredible talent out here, the goalkeeping, the shooting, the passing, the defending. It's just terrific gameplay, and so pleased when we get the support from the community.
Oh, it's so awesome to see, because it's such a great opportunity for these athletes to come and play. And you know, if they didn't have to worry about a little bit of paying here and there, it would be so awesome. And thanks for the sponsors for helping out. So now Hazel with the ring. We're starting up here in the second quarter. Hazel out to Rock, bounces off her stick and immediately checked by Drager. Drager gets it back into her own defensive zone, and
Drager's got that long reach, and she uses it to her best advantage.
So a bit of a broken play there, ends up on the stick of Burse, and Burse is going to get checked by Drager. No penalty on the play. Meyer now attacking. Backhand pass is intercepted by Drager. Good anticipation, and now Ketsa up across the center line. Has to wait as WAM was changing, and they're still shorthanded for another 43 seconds, so they're down a player. And Body's kind of hitting the ice here as both teams are kicking up the intensity a little bit. Brown is double teamed in the corner, able to flip it out to the far corner, and Ung's going to pick that up. Bouncing ring, so she's got to be careful. Tajbach on the attack. Now Brown with it. Brown's going to send it over to Sauvé. Sauvé circles, trying to set up in the offensive zone. Like Shannon at the top of the triangle is going to run point as Brewster puts on a shot and just misses. 3 seconds on the shot clock. 3 seconds on the penalty.
So we've got the shot clock expires. It'll be goalkeeper Ring for Edmonton.
And they should go up to full strength almost immediately here.
Yeah.
So it was Arlinghouse that got the penalty. I didn't notice that at the start, but she comes out of the box now, and it's oh my gosh. It was basically 2 on none there for the WAM, and a check from behind was going to be a penalty, but the WAM scored to go 2-2, and that'll negate the penalty, I think.
So that, I believe, is one of the Hendersons that scored that goal.
Yeah. I wonder if that was going to be a penalty shot. Just curious.
Yeah, we'd have to check with the officials on that one. I don't like to second guess them. Definitely it was going to be a penalty.
Yeah.
It's the determination of whether they're on a clear break, with nobody get past, et cetera, et cetera. There's 3 or 4 factors to it. So definitely the penalty. Stephanie had her hand up on that one, no problem. Brandon probably did as well. Our officials today are Stephanie Black and Brandon Miller, both from Ontario. Both with experience at the NRL.
Hazel with a long shovel into the corner, and it's a battle. Gillespie battling there with number 18. I think that was Mitsuka. So now WAM with the ring. Mitsuka has it, trying to find an opening at center ice, finds Tajbak, and a quick pass up to Henderson is going to try to break in before the Wrath can set up. Tajbak gets a shot off. Nystrom makes a save, no rebound. Drops it behind the net for Hazel. Hazel's going to circle up the board, sees an opening, and doesn't quite connect with Meyer, so WAM are going to recover in their own zone. Banks it off the boards, and another breakaway here for Henderson. As the Wrath defenders are caught about a little bit out of position here. Drager's now going to slow things down. A fresh clock for the WAM. They have 20 seconds. They got a reset off of Nystrom. Vale Ketsa looking for things to set up. Drops it to Drager. Drager back to Ketsa. Ketsa just misses the stab on the slot. Ring comes all the way out. And now about to expire. 3 seconds on the shot clock. A shot. Oh, and they said they just got it off Nystrom.
Yep, just went off her stick on that pass.
So heads up play there by the WAM just to get the shot off at the the buzzer.
And great job by the shot clock operator, waiting to make sure the referee gives the signal on that one. When the shot clock operators don't have a great angle on it, we do ask them to wait for the signal. Yeah. If the shot clock goes off by mistake, we can fix that. If it gets reset by mistake, there's no coming back. There's no reset on that. No adjustment to that.
Yeah.
So Drager
out to Ketsa. Ketsa takes the shot. Good stick by Brown. And now ring behind the net for Rock. Rock's going to wheel behind the net, look for an opening, gets it over to Brown. A little bit out of the reach for her, and Ryan York is... Ferry jumps on that. And they're going to call Move It or Lose It?
No, it was a blue line.
Oh, okay, she went over both sides.
Yeah, the Edmonton player picked it up just on the center line side of the blue line, and with the aggressive forecheck Calgary Wrath was putting on that, they forced her over the line with that one.
Okay, so a bit of a break for Calgary Wrath. They're going to get a free offensive zone ring here. Aaron Ung is going to be starting with it. Looks for a shot, doesn't see it. Passes it over to Wheeler. Wheeler runs into a bit of a wall there and drops it back to Ung. Ung runs into the same wall. Nothing happening there. Good defense by WAM.
Yeah. A great job by WAM shutting down that lane. Ung trying to break through the triangle, and Edmonton not cooperating at all.
So Shannon tried to get it off her stick, was checked right at the blue line, and now that's going to be a both sides call.
Yeah.
And
so Shannon she checked the stick of the Calgary player, so right then a 5-second count starts. Because Shannon couldn't play it, she also can't stop her opponent from playing it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's what that 5 count is. So then Shannon picked it up in that 5, and either her or her teammates, if they had picked it up in that 5. it becomes the blue line call. So free pass for RATH in the Edmonton end.
Brewster now with it. Sends it to Hemstreet. Hemstreet back to Brewster. Over to Hemstreet. Hemstreet circles back to pick up the ring and now drops it to Sauvé. Sauvé's going to try to break through the WAM wall here and doesn't get much. Gets to the far side, 4 seconds on the shot clock. Hemstreet's going to take the shot. Greywall's going to make the save and no rebound. Drops it behind the net. Brewster's right there, but I'm not sure who grabbed that for the WAM, but they are up to the blue line now and out to center ice. Henderson with a nice stab in pressure, and Ryan York's going to grab it. Over to, RATH with a good anticipation check there. It's a loose ring, and they're going to give it to the WAM. So in that case, they said that Calgary had their stick in the ring first.
Yeah, that was the move it or lose it. So Calgary player did a great job anticipating that. But then when she got over to the boards with it,
got tied up.
WAM just as aggressive on the forecheck as Calgary can be, and they just stuffed her right there. Couldn't really move anywhere with it.
So a long pass down to Drager. Drager to Ketsa. And WAM looking to set up here in the offensive zone with 7:45 left in the second quarter. Ketsa over to Drager. Drager open at the side of the net. Has to pick the ring up off the board. Sees the shot clock expiring. Gets a shot off. The rebound comes out to Ketsa, and Ketsa gets a nice shot off too. Nystrom got a piece of both of those. And a pass across goes through everybody. Ketsa grabs it off the boards. Ketsa now driving, gets the shot off, and misses the net. So 5-second count, crease violation against WAM. They can't touch it. Armstrong battles through 2 players and all the way up to Burst. Burst can't grab it cleanly, and Gillespie gets a shot that is from center ice and ends up in the crease.
Yeah, it bounced off Edmonton's skate there, which was going in. So unfortunately, that took all of the steam off of it.
Now Drager with it in the offensive zone. WAM quick to reset offensively here. Shannon. Drager heading to the bench, so getting a line change now. Shannon trying to battle. Can't get through 3 RATH players and has to throw the ring into the corner. Hazel picks up it. Now sees Rock, and Rock has Wheeler, and RATH are on the attack now. Wheeler streaking in, finding a lane, but opts to hold on. Behind the back pass to Anderson. Anderson over to Ung. Ung picks it up off the boards. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Ung behind the back pass to Anderson. Anderson turns and shoots, and the RATH get a reset and the rebound. So good offensive zone pressure here by the RATH, as Ung is going to wait for a line change. Hemstreet fresh off the bench. Sauvé coming as well, and Brewster. So RATH with some fresh legs. Let's see if they can take advantage. And a shot by Hemstreet. Greywall doesn't know where it is, but she has it in her pads.
Yeah, so she's just going to hang on to that. You don't want that dropping off and rolling into the net.
I kind of feel like she also wanted the change here, so now WAM's going to get an opportunity to change.
Yeah, her defense may have said, hey, just hang on, because they wanted to go.
So now WAM are fresh legs on the ice. Brewster's going to start with it in the offensive zone. Fresh clock for the RATH, 30 seconds. Brewster sees an opening, takes the shot, and Greywall gets a piece of it. Stick handles it out. Lang has it now for WAM and throws it in for Fevin, but it's a 2-line pass, so Fevin can't touch it. Hemstreet in a bit of trouble, makes a couple moves, still can't find an opening, manages to keep her feet moving, and almost dodges a third time, and the Arlinghouse finally knocks it off the stick, gets a shot off. Nystrom there.
And gets the rebound, too.
Yeah, so WAM's going to slow things down as they set up. Ryan York takes the shot. It hit the side of the net, but I think got a reset.
Yeah, I think the referee thought it might have gone off the stick, too. So that's a harsh angle for them.
Yeah, they can't see from the far side. Drager fakes the pass, takes the shot. Nystrom closes up and drops it for Brown. Fevin.
I believe we're going to have a penalty to Drager here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And bit of a scramble here as WAM is trying to cause a turnover, and they're going to get a body.
Yeah, it's a body contact to Drager. Drager was fairly frustrated there at the corner of the net, and when Nystrom's trying to get the ring out, she just kind of gave her the RATH player that was marking her just gave her a push, knocked her right down, right in front of the referee.
Yeah.
So that was
tough not to make that call.
Yeah.
Meyer to Gillespie. So RATH on a power play here, trying to capitalize with 4:30 left in the first half. Gillespie cycles through, gets it over to Burst. Burst double pumps it. Gillespie has an open net, takes a shot. Graywall streaking across, makes the save. Great movement by Graywall there to stop a goal. RATH with some good ring movement here, gets a shot, missing the net. 3 seconds on the shot clock. I thought Graywall got a piece of that. So.
Yeah.
And they're going to call shot clock violation, so goalie ring. Graywall, a high toss. Oh, Meyer jumps on that for RATH.
Good read by Meyer on that play.
Oh, but 4 in.
But, yeah. Unfortunately, there was already 3 of her teammates inside that Ringette line when she jumped in to grab that one.
So it's going to come all the way out to center, and WAM's going to take possession. The refs are talking about it, not sure exactly. Okay, so there's a change in bit of a discussion, and they said it wasn't 4 in. So RATH is going to regain control of the ring in the offensive zone. Wheeler on. Wheeler looks for an opening and passes it across to Ung. Ung grabs it off the boards. Ung to Wheeler. Wheeler cycles out of the ringette. WAM pushing out quite a ways. RATH trying to break through.
Yeah, you see teams pushing them out. They try to get the forwards involved in the checking.
Yeah. Now a pass across doesn't quite connect with Wheeler and Anderson. Anderson back to Ung. Ung now has a bit of lane, takes the shot. Graywall doesn't know where it is. I thought it was going to bounce behind her, but it bounced behind the net. Yeah. Oh, and there's another penalty on WAM. So here's RATH. RATH's opportunity to go 3-on-2 in the offensive zone.
Yeah, so this will be a tripping call to the WAM. So RATH will have 39 seconds of 3-on-2 in Edmonton's end.
I believe Shannon got that call.
I believe it was too, yeah. So Calgary looking to take advantage of this opportunity they've been handed.
For sure. And they score. What a goal. Aaron Ung to, I didn't see Gillespie down low, I think. Not sure. I'll see when they turn here. Oh, it's Hemstreet.
Okay. So Ung and Hemstreet had some great passing going back and forth from the top of the triangle down to the corner, top of the triangle down to the corner, till the opening really showed itself there. And Hemstreet made no mistake putting that past Graywall.
Yeah, top shelf. And I apologize, I couldn't keep up. The passing was so quick there.
And tough for Graywall to follow those moves too. It's fatiguing, that stop and start. And on that, I believe it was the third one before Hemstreet took that shot.
Yeah. So now Drager's out of the box and tries to lay a check, and Hemstreet's able to collect it. Hemstreet looking for an opening, didn't like what she saw, circled back to Armstrong, and a good read there by Drager, blocking the pass.
Again, using her reach to stop that.
Yeah, it's really deceiving for players thinking they have a lot of room, and then she reaches through.
So Edmonton's still short-handed for another minute and a bit.
Yeah, Shannon's still in the box, so Hazel with it behind the net for RATH. WAM setting up defensively. RATH making a change. Meyer's going to come on the ice and battle through the top of the triangle. Meyer behind the net, only 8 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, you can hear Nystrom banging her stick, letting them know.
A long shot, misses everyone, and it ends up in the corner, so shot clock violation. Going to be a goalie ring for WAM. Graywall behind the net. Up the left-hand side, and a bit of a miscommunication there. Meyer able to get a pass from Gillespie, who picked up the loose ring. It was a pass intended for Ryan York, but it didn't connect, and now Rath are back in control in the offensive zone. Gillespie dodges a check and passes it off.
Unfortunately, passed it off to the Edmonton WAM stick.
And now a battle at center ice is going to be a move it or lose it.
Again, some great checking, double teaming there by Rath in that center ice.
And yeah, Henderson just got two players.
Yeah, double
boxed her in.
Yeah. Both teams are very good at that, and they take advantage of those opportunities when they can. Pretty much all the teams in the NRL are excellent with that. Yeah. Making good choices on when the double team is happening.
Yeah, and even channeling, like forcing the player into the boards in the first place is really. Now Ung looking for an opening, can't find anything, banks it off the boards now to Anderson. Anderson is checked and has to throw it into the corner. Good step up there by Ung to keep it in control, and the pass back goes to the Ringette line, and a battle for it there is going to be picked up by Ung. 1 second on the shot clock, and
not in time there, so it will be a goalkeeper ring for Edmonton WAM.
1 minute to play, 1:02 left in the first half. We are going to break for a flood at the intermission, second intermission here. Wheeler up against the board, so WAM having a bit of trouble getting it out of their zone. Rath putting on some offensive zone forechecking.
So WAM comes up with it, but they used up a lot of time in their own end on that shot clock.
Yeah, there's only 10 seconds left, so they're going to dump it in and try to get a quick shot off. I think that's Ferry with the ring now. Yeah. She's a defenseman, I think, so she is jumping up offensively. Yes. Murray, a long lead pass up to Ung, and the Rath have a bit of opening here if they can capitalize, but a giveaway to Shannon. Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Shannon with the ring now passes it over to Ryan York. Sorry, Shannon now in the offensive zone. Shannon has
just at the high.
Fevin out in front, and a shot goes backhand, misses the net.
I'll come down.
And now Fevin with a big shot as the clock expires for the second half. And that was a great first half between these two teams. Lots of chances for both sides, and the score ends up 3-2 for the Rath with 26 minutes left in the second half.
Okay, so we're going to go for a break now. Please make sure you come back or follow any other games you wish to on the live streams here on the YouTube channel. So thank you very much, folks, and we'll see you here in about 15 minutes. Go down, get that baby. Okay, and welcome back here. We're going to be getting ready for the...
If we're live yet, are we?
We live? Live. No. We'll talk. They're coming. Okay, and welcome back here to this quarterfinal matchup between Edmonton WAM and Calgary RATH. Just wanted to mention a few things for these teams. We've got on the Edmonton WAM, we have Jillian Drager, who is a candidate, one of the 4 finalists for not only for most valuable player in the NRL awards, but also for top center. For Ringuette is up for the top forward award, and Melissa Masutka is up for the top defense award. So congratulations to those athletes. And also want to mention that 6 of the Edmonton WAM players were on the senior team Canada that played recently in Finland. In Finland.
Yeah.
Boy, that was way off. So that includes those 3 award finalists, Melissa Masutka, Jillian Drager, and Ringuette. There was also Annie DeBaji and Tori Shannon and Dalen Zimmer. Calgary RATH, meanwhile, had 3 athletes on junior team Canada in Finland. Kaylee Armstrong, Julia Harvey, and my colleague's daughter, Sydney Rock. You must be very proud of her.
Yeah, it was a real honor to represent Canada in Finland, and it was such an amazing achievement for these athletes.
And Calgary RATH actually also had Barb Batista, one of the assistant coaches, was on the senior team Canada roster as well. So here we go. Calgary starting out with the free pass. Take it away, Dion.
So if you're just tuning in, man, you got a lot of catching up to do. An exciting first half, had the score 3-2, and now we are underway in the second half. Drager with the ring in the defensive zone. 2-line pass is going to be collected by Hazel. Hazel quick out to Rock on the side, is immediately checked, but gets it through, and the 2-line pass the other way for the RATH. So a little bit of...
Yeah, and now we've got a penalty from behind the play. This is going to be Jillian Drager for a cross-check.
I didn't see that. So
no, I think there was some frustration there, and unfortunately for her, the back official had a clear view of that one.
Okay.
So Calgary RATH back on the power play.
I was going to say that I thought both teams played really good and would want to stay out of the penalty box. There was a couple opportunities 3-on-2 for both teams, and teams would want to kind of continue the heavy checking but try to avoid the box in the second half so they don't cause any unnecessary advantages for the other team. So now burst with it for the RATH. Over to Gillespie. Gillespie back to Ung. Ung tries to get there, and a good jump there by Henderson, reading the pass. And a strip there at the line by Wheeler.
Again, some great double teaming by Calgary RATH.
Yeah, and Brown with the ring now in the offensive zone. Brown's going to wait for a change to happen. RATH are going to set up with a fresh set of legs off the bench. Meyer's going to come in and relieve Brown of the ring. Meyer's going to take the shot. Missed on the far side. Brewster collects the rebound. No reset. 8 seconds on the shot clock for the RATH. Sauvé's going to take the shot. Graywall saw it all the way. No trouble handling that and kicking it out to Ferry. Ferry's going to cycle back behind her own net. And loses the ring, gets it up to Henderson. Heads up play there by Henderson to come and support her partner. And a penalty now against Jenica Murray in center ice.
Yeah, that'll be a tripping call to Calgary.
So 47 seconds left on the penalty to Drager.
Yeah. So Sauvé was waiting for that ring to touch the blue line before she tried to take off with it. But unfortunately for her, the official had the arm up for that tripping call. So Edmonton gets the ring down in the Calgary end. We've got some 4-on-4 here.
So it doesn't create a big advantage or disadvantage in the ringette zones like the offense and defense, but it's really tough in the neutral zone when you're short a player to find a connection.
Yeah, and with the 4-on-4, you can even up those scoring opportunities. But once Edmonton gets the player back out of the penalty box, that will be more challenging.
Great shot there by Ryan York. Kind of had Nystrom surprised, but Nystrom able to make the save, and RATH collects the rebound and gets it up to center. A blue line here, but can't seem to find an opening. Hemstreet cycles back, drops it to Armstrong. using up a lot of clock here. RATH are trying to get it out. Now pass to Hemstreet, goes off a skate, and it's going to be both sides, and they're going to call a penalty.
Yeah, this is going to be a slashing penalty to Hemstreet. She was trying to stop her opponent from getting that open ring that was just inside the Calgary blue line. It might have been better served to just take the stoppage, take the ring and get the whistle, but instead she knocked the stick out of her opponent's hand, so that's a slashing penalty, and now Edmonton is at full strength. They've got all 5 out there, and they've got over a minute of 3-on-2.
So yeah, I think I kind of jinxed it, saying staying out of the box, both teams. WAM strike quickly, make no mistake on there, so RATH really needs to settle things down and keep things checking, but staying out of the box, because that was quick.
Yes. So, yeah, that was 9 seconds into that penalty. That was Drager with just a great shot, a shot she's known for.
I think Ketsa actually scored that. I think Ketsa actually scored that, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Calgary still shorthanded by 1.
A long dump in from center is picked up by Ferry, and she throws it back out to center. Ketsa is going to grab that and drops it to Henderson across the line. Heads up play. Now Drager on the attack. Backhand shot, misses, no reset. Ketsa grabbing the loose ring on the board, sending it over to Henderson. Ketsa behind the back pass. Back to Henderson. Henderson with the shot, doesn't get through, blocked by the RATH. And now they are able to get a reset and recovery. So Drager with a full 30 seconds is going to cycle things behind the net, wait for the forwards to change. Oh no, it was the D that was changing there. So Drager with a spinorama move, tried the shovel shot, and Nystrom able to keep it in the crease. Now a high toss and a bit of a defensive miss there by the RATH as WAM are standing for the ring, and they're able to recover with a fresh shot clock. So now Shannon behind the back pass to Henderson. Henderson picking it up off the boards is going to put it.
Yeah, Henderson was actually going for a line change when the pass came across from Shannon. So good awareness to stay on the ice and play that ring.
So Tajbash with the ring takes a backhand shot. Nystrom got a piece of it. Reset there and a recovery by Arlinghouse. Arlinghouse is going to turn on the wheels and try to get things moving. Nice check by Rachel Ung of the RATH, and a centering pass gets blocked by Meyer. Meyer has the ring, but the RATH are still shorthanded for another 10 seconds. So the forward was changing. They had nobody available in the neutral zone, so just opted to dump it, and now the WAM are Debaji with it. Up to Shannon. Shannon, one-timer for number 9 there, Tajbat. Drop pass to Ryan York. Ryan York coming on off the bench. 9 seconds on the shot clock for WAM. Ryan York with a big shot. No reset there. And another big shot from the other side. That was Krochak taking a...
Yeah, Krochak was just trying to get it to the net to get that reset. We were down to 2 seconds on the shot clock, but unfortunately high wide and goes around the boards, and it's Nystrom's ring there at the net.
And Nystrom drops it behind the net for Murray, I think, is on a tear. Anderson tries the give and go, but it was just behind Armstrong, and now WAM are quick to turn it around. Krochak to Fevin. Fevin takes the shot. Nystrom with a good blocker save. WAM able to recover the reset, so consistent pressure here for the last few minutes by WAM in the offensive zone. Ryan York tried the centering pass, doesn't get through. Drager's on the ice. Meyer picks up the loose ring. Meyer up to center ice to now Armstrong, who is double teamed by WAM, and WAM's able to throw it away. Murray picks it up and sends it deep into the corner. That's out of the reach of Anderson, so Huang is going to get there first and send the ring to Mitsuka. Mitsuka finds Drager at the line. Drager with a nice drop pass to Mitsuka, and Ketsa is on the attack. 17 on 17 there. Oh, centering pass to Drager. She just missed that, but had a wide open lane to the net. Now back at center ice. WAM in control of the ring. Ketsa picks it up and tries to drive into the circle. Passes across. And Ketsa with a nice one-timer at the buzzer. And Nystrom made a beautiful save coming across. Drops it behind the net for Rock. So Rock looking for an opening. Sees a open Hazel at the far blue line. And Henderson put the check on. Almost got the turnover, but didn't know where the ring was. And now they're going to call 4 in against WAM.
Yeah, so that rush by RATH caught WAM off guard. So there was a miscue amongst the ones on the ice to see who was going to be in. So a question here from the Calgary bench.
Just in my own head, I'm wondering if they're wondering why it wasn't a penalty versus just a... Because sometimes when you go 4 in with the ring there and it affects the play, they call it as a penalty.
Yeah, so if Calgary had the ring, while Edmonton had 4 inside the line, as long as any of those 4 are involved in the play, it is a penalty. But the 4th one in this case, I don't believe she came in until Edmonton had actually gained control of the ring.
Okay.
So and they were starting to come out with it. So that's why it's only a violation.
Right. So
if you have control, you cannot get a penalty for that when you've got control of the ring.
Right. So Sauvé now looking for a pass to Hemstreet. Hemstreet to Ung. Ung gets the one-timer off. Greywall, nice move on the coming across to get that one-timer. Rath able to recover the rebound with a fresh 30 seconds on the clock. Now down to 20. Hemstreet circling, looking for an opening. Can't find anything. Takes it behind the net. Good defensive triangle by WAM here, pushing the Rath players out of position. Not letting them get too close to the net. Wheeler off the bench, gets it over to Burst. Burst with a one-timer, just missed.
Yeah, Burst was on her back foot there, so she couldn't quite get the strength on that shot that she would have otherwise liked, or as we saw when she scored her goal.
So that was a shot clock violation. Debashi now out to center ice. Good anticipation by Brown to pick off that ring, and the pass up to Burst is both sides, and they're going to...
Yeah. So it went off of the Calgary player just outside of the blue line, and then she checked the WAM player before she could play it. So we had one in the
first
against
quarter.
Edmonton in the first half of the game there. So same thing within the 5 seconds. Calgary gained control of the ring, so that's the stoppage in play.
And a free ring at center ice. Huang sends it out to... Sorry, I didn't see the number there. And now deep in the zone for Arlinghouse. Arlinghouse across the top of the triangle. Had an opening there, but opted to hang on to the ring. Backhand shot. Nystrom had to be careful with that. Kept it in the crease and now sends it out to Murray. Murray fakes the pass and then gets it over to Meyer. Now Meyer gets it to Gillespie, and Rath are setting up offensively behind the net. Gillespie through, bounces it off a skate. It comes out of the zone, and big collision there. Fans calling for something, and no penalty or no whistle either way.
Yeah, and really, we as officials were taught that until those fans pick up a whistle themselves, we're really not going to pay all that much attention to them.
And now Drager with the ring in the offensive zone. Wham setting up, dropping it to Henderson. Drager wants the ring back, tapping it. Henderson with a nice move there and got a shot off, but just missed the net. No reset, so it's a goalie ring.
And really, if you notice right on that last pass there, Nystrom made sure the ring did not contact her when it came back across in front of the net. She didn't want to give them a free reset.
Hazel with a quick outlet to Armstrong. Armstrong sees Hemstreet open in center ice, but she has a couple WAM checks right on. Now up to Hazel. Hazel couldn't quite pick that up, and it ends up in the defensive zone, 2 lines, so Ferry's going to grab it for WAM. Ferry winding up behind the WAM net. Ferry drop pass to Henderson. Henderson back to Ferry. Ferry tries to make a move. Sauvé checking her. And Ferry a long backhand out to Ketsa. Ketsa able to pick it up off the boards and sends it in deep for Henderson. Henderson has a bit of room. Drop pass to Ketsa. Ketsa driving to the net. Good shot. Yeah. And Nystrom just got a piece of that.
Yeah, good flip to the backhand by Ketsa, but Nystrom had a good read on that play. No trouble getting the blocker to it.
Now Shannon, fresh legs for WAM. Has Krochak driving to the net. Shannon, backhand pass. Over to Debashi. And wide open at the side of the net is Tajbak. Good save by Nystrom. Great one-timer. WAM getting a fresh clock here as Shannon tries to get the shot off, and a good check by the RATH. Causes a loose ring, and then they're going to say a move it or lose it against the RATH, so it's going to come back to the WAM.
Yeah, so some great double team forecheck there by WAM to get that ring back.
Looks like WAM is opting to keep the same line out. Shannon's going to start with the ring.
So just under 3 minutes left in this third quarter here.
Man, it's quick. Can't believe we're already 3 minutes left. It seemed like the third quarter just started, and now it's almost over. So one-timer opportunity there for Tajbak, but she missed on the connection. Back to Shannon. Shannon drives to the net, loses an edge, and is able to keep the ring and circle back. Big shot off of Nystrom's shoulder is going to cause a reset.
Oh, great hustle there by the WAM player to pick up that ring behind the net.
Yeah, that was Tajbak.
That was Tajbak. Yeah, I should have known.
Turned on the juice and was able to pick it up. Now Shannon dropped to Drager, so WAM slowly getting a few changes in here. Ketsa off the bench. Ketsa dropped to Drager. Drager's going to weave in. With that reach, able to dangle a lot. But the RATH able to check her off the ring and now sends it up to center. A battle for the ring ends up on the stick of Drager. Drager finds Ketsa open in the offensive zone. Good coverage there by Meyer.
That's a great shutdown of that lane that Ketsa was trying to get through. Really well done.
Well, 3 RATH players up against the board, grabbing the ring, running into 3 WAM players at the blue line.
And a great job just passing it back to the defensive partner. She really didn't have a forward pass to make, so these teams are not afraid to pass it back to their defense when they don't have an opening on the going forward.
Yeah, it seems like a little bit of broken play here for the last minute or so from both teams.
Yes.
I think Ketsa's going to want to settle things down in the offensive zone and try to get back onto their game.
Yeah, get the line change there, get the fresh legs out, get a reset. And now they could get the line change, whereas Calgary can't change their defense.
Yeah, the bench is far away in the third quarter.
This is the long change period, so they try and get take advantage of the fatigue factor.
So a shot on net, trying to beat the buzzer there, kind of fooled Nystrom as she let it slide through the crease. Ung picks it up and gets it out to center. Hemstreet is under a ton of pressure, can't seem to get anywhere. Ung helping out, and they're going to call a penalty.
Yeah.
Against
This will be a penalty to WAM. That'll be a tripping call.
Ung looks a little shaken up, but manages to get up and skate to the bench. 37.8 seconds left in this third quarter. It is 3-3.
Okay, so Calgary on the power play now with that penalty to Edmonton.
Meyer's going to start with the ring for RATH. Shannon in the top of the triangle is going to face off against her. Meyer fakes the shot, sends it back to Anderson. Anderson looking for an opening. Ung across, picks it up, back to Anderson. Tries to go through the 5-hole of the defender, and Ring doesn't make it to the net. Greywall now picks it up off Debaji, I think, and then sends it out to Ferry. And a long pass in is going to get picked up by Murray.
Yeah, I think Edmonton just trying to get rid of that ring, really minimize the opportunity for Calgary, but Calgary's got 3 seconds.
Great defensive play by Ferry. Ung had a lane to the net. Oh, that was the third quarter. Okay.
Yeah.
Can't hear the buzzer with my ear.
Yeah, no, that's why Edmonton fired that ring down. Normally, they don't just throw the ring away on a.
Oh, they were just killing the clock.
They were killing the clock.
Yeah.
So it was about 12 seconds left in the quarter when they fired it down the ice there.
Well, really good clock awareness by the players, and me not so much.
Well, you're enthused in the play, and sometimes that's why there's 2 of us out here.
So I was going to ask this question earlier, but at the break here, what is the line as a professional referee expert?
Well, that's generous.
What is the line between a slash? Because I know in Ringette there's a lot of stick checking, and that's part of the gameplay is where you're trying to hit the opponent's player stick out of the ring.
Yes.
So what draws the line between a slash and a check, a clean check?
Okay, so just for that slashing penalty that was down there, the Edmonton player didn't even have the stick in the ring. The Calgary player was just trying to prevent her from being able to do that, so she actually knocked the stick out of the hands, so made it impossible for her to play it. But in terms of checking and gameplay, we look for anything that gets up into the arms.
Right.
That's where there's either going to be a slashing or potentially a hooking penalty.
Okay.
Because at that point you're reaching. You're no longer in the bottom 1/3 of the stick where you're trying to lift that stick out of the ring.
And is there a force factor to it too? So if you hit the bottom third with excessive force, would that be considered a slash?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So it's more location.
You're just trying to lift the stick out of the ring, and some players are stronger than others, and the fact that that I can hit your stick and knock it out of the ring, and then I can gain control of the ring. That's just a matter of biology.
Okay. Something I always wanted to ask, but now we are starting this fourth quarter. Man, everything on the line here for these two teams, tied at 3. Chances for both teams at both ends. The goalies have been sharp.
And still a minute left in the Edmonton penalty, but you wouldn't know it with the play that's going on down here right now in the Calgary end.
Yeah, WAM in control in the offensive zone. Ketsa with it is going to drop it. Sees Debaji. Debaji is going to circle out, try to weave their way in. And a 5-second count against RATH.
Yeah, there's
possibly a forehand.
When Debaji was coming up across the top of the triangle, they're up high on the Ringette line. The Calgary forward ended up inside, but it was one of those incidental ones, so that's why it's only a 5 count. It wasn't a penalty material at all.
Right. So both teams making changes here. Kaj back with the ring for WAM, drops it back to Shannon. Shannon's going to slow things down and wait for something to develop. Probably happy to kill as much time on the penalty as they can in the offensive zone.
Yeah.
Debaji with it. Tries a centering pass. Tajbak didn't put a stick on it. Let it go through to Shannon. Now Shannon gets a reset off of Nystrom's face mask and is able to recover a rebound. Good reset there by Shannon.
Yeah. And Debaji has stepped up. She generally plays defense, but she's a very experienced player, so when they're shorthanded, she will often step up into the play here.
Big one-timer shot. Nystrom able to get there, but didn't see the ring deflect off her shoulder, so Brown comes in and helps out. Now the RATH are back to even strength now for both teams, so no advantage. Sauvé sees Brewster open, puts it into the corner. Brewster collects it, drops it back to Sauvé. Sauvé is going to circle behind the WAM net. And now RATH wanting to get some consistent pressure here on net in the offensive zone, but missed shot is picked up by Ferry. WAM circling. Getting it out across the line to Drager. Drager finds Ketsa. And back to Drager. Ung with a nice check, turning the ring into the boards, and Drager calling for a change or something from the bench. Drager wheeling around, takes the shot on the backhand. Nice save by Nystrom. And Ung put the ring back into the crease, and now Nystrom put it back out to Ung. So Ung is getting checked by Henderson, I think. And support pass up to Murray. Murray's going to find Anderson in neutral. And Anderson, good coverage here by the WAM defenders. There's nobody open in the offensive zone, so RATH have nowhere to go with it. Back in the defensive zone, Hazel with it now. Hazel banks it off the boards, trying to hit Ung. Ung is going to pick it up. 20 seconds on the shot clock for RATH. Now Ung over to Anderson. Anderson looking for an opening, takes the shot, gets a reset. So smart play by Anderson there, just seeing a open lane and a easy rebound. So 25 now for RATH as Ung hits Wheeler. And Burse is coming off the bench. Burse over to Wheeler. Wheeler has a lane, takes a bump, hangs onto the ring, and now is channeled into the corner by Shannon, I think. A long pass over to Gillespie. Gillespie finds Burse in front of the net, and it's a crease violation. She put it over Graywall's shoulder.
That was a great setup, but she's just a little too tight to the crease when she's taking that shot. So,
yeah, and that's thing that people sometimes don't realize is that there's an imaginary plane that goes up from the crease. So even if your stick breaks the plane, that's a crease violation. It's not just on the ice.
The crease is not just a situation on the ice. It's like you see players that jump the corner of the crease. Well, they're still in the crease.
Yeah.
The fact that their skates aren't on the ice makes no difference. Now we had the extended push there by
Armstrong's going to get a penalty.
So Edmonton right away with 4 skaters in.
So that's interesting. They pulled their goalie, which you don't have to do now. That's a new rule change this year, right? But they wanted a specific player on the ice. So
yes. Yeah.
Drager now with the ring, trying to direct traffic, and a nice chance there. Nystrom with a beautiful save. Hazel trying to pick it up, and Armstrong's going to touch it. No, see, it's not just a matter of touch. They actually have to control it. So control is putting your stick in the ring, kicking the ring with intention, batting the ring with your hand. Yeah, there has to be intentional move on your part, not just contact. Right. So a great wait by the officials for that actually to occur. So Armstrong gets a body, 2 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, so we're at 8 minutes and 24 seconds left in regulation time here. And as we've said, we need a winner out of this game. Should it be tied at the end of regulation, we will go to successive sudden victory overtime periods. I probably just jinxed it here, kind of like you did earlier, Dion. Yeah, and Henderson quick to score. Yeah. Drager hits her at the side of the net and is able to jump around the D and Nystrom and put it in the far side. So that was Henderson with that goal. What a great one-time, really a smooth collect of that ring and then get rid of it into the net. So I don't know if, RATH still had 3 players in the defensive zone, so you can't say the penalty affected that, but I think it definitely affects the momentum. Well, and sometimes it's just a matter of the personnel you would have out there on the ice at any given time. Yeah. I mean, they're all very good athletes, very good players. And that's going to be a penalty back the other way, Drager. Drager's not agreeing with that call, but that's too bad. Yeah. So it seemed like she used her shoulder a little bit. Yeah. To gain control of the ring there. So now Calgary with an opportunity. I was saying all of these are very good players, but you're still going to have different skill and different skill sets from each of them. So in a lineup, you're looking to match off those skill sets. Right. So when you lose somebody to the penalty box, then if there's a skill that they have that you want out there on the ice, you have to find somebody else. Right. So who's still a good player but may not have that one particular thing you're looking for. Right. So it's a disruption to the flow of a team for sure. Exactly. Yeah. So now RATH on the attack, hoping to strike back here and even things up, down by a goal with 7:50 left in the fourth quarter. Power play. Sauvé driving through, gets it over to Brewster, and that banks off the boards, and a bit of a broken play by WAM trying to send it up the boards. Now they're going to get control around the other way. That's Mitsuka. Mitsuka cycles back, has 2 RATH players on, and this is really where it becomes an issue for for teams breaking out of their own defensive zone. Yeah. They're down a player. Now a long pass up to Meyer. Meyer with the ring is going to drop it to Anderson. Anderson's going to look for an opening. Meyer open in front of the net. Yeah. Calgary changing some of their forwards here. Now Ung with it. Ung's going to get it over to Anderson. Anderson can't quite. Just tips off of her stick. But a 4-in call against WAM, I think. Yes. So that's similar to the 4-in call against Calgary here. It was just one of those incidental, but not completely invisible. So it's a 5 count on that play. Right. Now Anderson starting with it, looking for a lane, sees an opening, takes the shot, but WAM able to pick up the rebound. Some good forechecking going on by Calgary now. But WAM immediately drops it to her partner there. So Ferry now out to Tajbak at center ice, and a long pass ends up into the crease. Nystrom's going to play that. And has to be careful as 2 WAM players circling. Drops it behind the net for Hazel. Hazel winding up. Oh, and a miscommunication there with the forward at neutral. Was looking the other way. So Debaji able to grab the ring for WAM. WAM sending it in now on the attack with Tajbak in the corner. So I kind of feel like WAM is playing carefully here, making sure the penalty expires before they kick it up in checking, just so they don't take two. Hem Street sees an opening, wide open Armstrong as WAM is changing. RATH trying to press, and good collection there by WAM just to get into the triangle and set up. The penalty is now over, back to even strength, as Burse has the ring with 5:55 left in the game. Burse driving to the net. Good push out there by, I believe that's number 18.
Masutka.
Yeah.
Yep. Like we said, she's up for, she's one of the candidates for top defense of the year.
And she didn't leave any opening there for RATH to get through.
Yeah. So that's a crease call against WAM. And actually, I think both of them were in the crease, but since WAM had control of the ring, the call goes against them.
Okay,
so it'll be RATH with the free pass.
RATH getting a bit of a break here in the offensive zone, looking to even things up here. Ideally, they'd want to get things tied before they have to pull their goalie, but Drager now able to collect the shot by RATH, getting it out to center ice. Henderson with it. Henderson banks it off the boards to Drager. And Drager has one to beat. She's looking for an opening. And good coverage here by the RATH, turning Drager away. Drager cycling back, sees Ketsa open on the far side. And I feel like WAM's going to try to use as much clock as they can now with the one goal advantage. 5
minutes left in the...
So the shot got off. The shot clock operator didn't quite reset the clock, but...
and it also, Drager was in the crease too.
Drager was in the crease. So both ways it ends up on Nystrom's stick.
Drager was actually trying to squeeze through a space that didn't exist and then got upset when the referee called her for being in the crease.
Yeah, and that's a touch. They called a touch. Yep. So now RATH getting a bit of a break in the offensive zone, able to set up. Ung with it now. Ung to Sauvé. Sauvé tries to get it out, and a good check there by the WAM defenders, and the penalty at the red line for RATH. So that's not going to be good as they are down a goal. And now they're going to be shorthanded as well.
Yeah, so that was number 8?
Tessa Brown.
Okay. So just as the Edmonton player got that ring, she stepped up to her, and unfortunately with that contact that was made there, penalty to Calgary. So 4:39 left in regulation time here.
We're going to have to watch, see if RATH pull Nystrom here soon. Shannon behind the net. And I feel like WAM is just going to use every second they can here to
they're going to
prevent RATH from touching the ring as much as possible.
Yeah, they're just going to want to make sure that they don't provide any scoring opportunities.
And that was a bit of a miscommunication there. 4 in. Shannon drove before Debaji was able to get out.
Yeah, so that will be a free pass at center ice for Calgary.
So it looked like a set play, but then kind of
forgot
the set play.
Yeah.
So now WAM's going to play full press coverage as they have a player advantage. So they're going to try to cover every single RATH player on the ice. So there's no opportunity to get an open player. And they send it in the offensive zone, and they're going to call that a penalty as Gillespie... No,
Debaji.
Murray was streaking to the ring, and Debaji.
Yeah.
So even strength now, 4-on-4.
Yeah, so that was, Debaji ended up, she was behind and really wanted to prevent Calgary from getting that ring, and unfortunately ended up holding her. So that was a holding penalty to Debaji. So now each team with 4 skaters.
4:06 left in this fourth quarter. Battle of 2 Titans. Hem Street with the ring behind the net for the RATH. Hem Street drop pass to Ung. Ung turns back up against the boards, and WAM is going to jump on that, and it's going to be a move it or lose it violation against RATH.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Ung just lost her spatial awareness there and ended up running into the boards, backing into the boards and going down. So,
and man, WAM was incredibly quick to jump on that. So smart play by WAM just to be aware of the play. And now Ung throws it down the ice as she might have lost a blade here. She can't skate.
Well, she's
maybe lost an edge up against the boards.
Yeah, she might have, because she made her way carefully.
And good play there by Armstrong just to keep the legs pumping on Tajbak, who is trying to...
And Tajbak had to be careful on that one, not to push too hard. So smart plays by both of them.
Yeah, 22 seconds on the penalty to RATH. Oh, a shot by Sauvé just goes over the net, and that's going to be collected by Mitsuka. Mitsuka is going to send it out to center ice, and nice give and go, good awareness. Oh, overskates it, and now Sauvé has it. Up to Brewster. Brewster sees an open Anderson.
And RATH needs to change some players, so really couldn't take advantage of that stretch, but coming back with it now.
Yeah, there's a lot of open ice with 2 players in the box, but RATH is up to full strength now. They got a 26-second power play. If Hemstreet over to Burst. Burst sees an opening, passes it back to Hemstreet, and a good stick by the Mitsuka, I think. Prevented that from going across cleanly. So hard to stab the ring and ringette when it's fast moving, and then when somebody deflects it, it makes it even more challenging.
Yes.
Because your timing is off and you're planning for it somewhere else. So
both
2 minutes to go here. Look for Nystrom to get the call to the bench if RATH can get offensive zone.
And both teams at full strength.
Possession here. 16 seconds on the shot clock. Nystrom still in the net. RATH trying to score one hurt quickly here to even things up. Gillespie makes a move, gets it over to Burst. Burst has to pick it up off the boards with 3 seconds on the shot clock. Now they get the reset
and get the rebound.
So now
there goes Nystrom.
Nystrom heading to the bench. RATH are going to go 4 in as Ung.
They need to get a 4th skater up there to go 4 in.
Yeah, so they wanted a specific player on the ice, so Ung went to the bench, and now the other defender is changing. So RATH taking a lot of time here just to get set up a 4 in. 18 seconds on the shot clock still. Ung down to Brown. Brown across the ice, open, and bouncing ring.
It's that rolling ring. It's very difficult.
Brown
and they
hit the post. The ref said no. Hit the crossbar and came out.
Yeah, so that's, and takes the 5-second count there to Greywall, so it will be Calgary with the free pass.
That was a beautiful chance for RATH, and holy cow, just millimeters. Less than a minute to play, 59.7 seconds. RATH are going to maybe call a timeout here. No, they're not. I kind of feel like one team should call a timeout.
I'm trying to think who called it. We did have a timeout earlier in the game, did we not?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, maybe not.
It was in the other game. They called a timeout early.
Yeah, and actually me too. Atlantic and Saskatchewan, we had timeouts.
Ung with the shot. Greywall with a nice save. Rebound stays on the goal line, and it's a contested ring. It's going to go to the goalie.
Yeah, in the crease there, so.
46 seconds left. RATH need to cause a turnover here quickly. Nystrom bounces back into the net.
Good double team there by Calgary to get that ring back.
Okay, so now Nystrom has to quickly get off again to go 4 in. Hemstreet on the offensive. 30 seconds left. RATH tied things up late against Mission yesterday. Gillespie with the shot off the back of the wall. Now Ung with it over to Hemstreet. 10 seconds. No, they got a reset now. 15 seconds on the clock, and WAM is going to grab it. No,
RATH comes up with that one. Moving that ring around.
Throws it into the slot area, and WAM will throw it down the ice, and that'll probably do it, as RATH does not have enough time to get back. 1 second, and that's your final, 4-3.
What a game, Dion.
That was incredible, and a great chance there at the end for the RATH. They just couldn't quite find the mesh. But
had that crossbar, but the ring just would not cooperate.
What a great competition this year. So, there was 5 overtime games in the Pool A round robin. 5 games went to overtime, and that just says an amazing level of competition here. Anybody can win any game.
Yeah,
so,
and one game stayed a tie.
Yeah, that's true.
BC and Riv Sud.
Yeah.
And then we had a 1-0 game.
Exactly. So.
And in fact, that game is coming up here next. BC and Montreal playing each other again. BC won the round robin 1-0.
That's right.
So.
But just what an amazing competition here. All the teams are so competitive and it's so close, and it's a matter of inches. And RATH and WAM here finishing strong.
So we'll wish good luck to both teams going forward.
WAM's going to be going into the semifinal on the A pool, and RATH will be playing in the consolation side.
Okay. So thanks very much, Dion.
Yeah, thank you. It was great to commentate with you. It was an exciting game, and
thanks for everybody listening and tuning in. We've still got lots of great action the rest of today, tomorrow, and Saturday. So we hope to see you.
Thank you.